Welcome to part number 3 of a $600 SpongeBob collection that I bought. We have been adding up every single item in this collection to see if we can break that $600 price tag since part 1. So this is a 3-part series, but don't worry, you can go check out those other 2 videos, and if not, either way, it's going to be an amazing time because this entire box is filled with SpongeBob merchandise from the vintage era between 2000 to 2006. And this is the biggest box we have covered so far of all 3 parts. It has been unbelievable. This whole trilogy has been unreal. We were trying to break $600. I'm doing all these at one time, so I don't even know where we're at in our grand total, but hopefully we're close to 600, maybe slightly past it, or I don't know, somewhere around there. So that way this box right here is just all a win. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into part number 3. Ooh, it is bursting open. It is ready to get out of here. Let's see what it is. So part number 2 we got to see, and part number 1, but we're gonna talk about part number 2 because that's most recently. Part number 2, we saw some amazing stuff that you guys are seeing on screen here. This being the biggest of the boxes, I have no clue what is in store. So let's go ahead and check it out. Oh man, that's heavy. Okay, and already starting off with a banger, we have the full-size SpongeBob body pillow. And you may have grown up with one of these variations of the collection. I gotta start taking pictures of them because I don't know if I have this one already, but I'm trying to collect all of these full body style SpongeBob pillows. There's very many. There's a lot of the classic one with his typical SquarePants. But there's some where he's not showing his bottom teeth, some where he's just smiling, some where his nose is this way, some where his nose is straight. They slightly change it so it's a different product, but it's basically still SpongeBob. So this is one of those variations. I don't know if I have this one or not. It says literally, the tag says the one and only. I can assure you that's not the case. I really am trying to collect the ones in different outfits, but hey, if I don't have this one, it's still a new one, and it's from the green and white label era and still has the tag brand new on it. With the tags on them, these can go anywhere from 30 to 40 bucks. A beautiful piece and a high quality one at that. This is your staple of a SpongeBob collectible. Oh my gosh, this is something I've needed for the collection. We're gonna get into this box here too, but this is something I've been needing for the collection for so long, and that is the bath sponge holder. There is literally so many knockoffs of this product on like Temu that you can get for your dish, like for your dishes. And these guys, believe it or not, people sell these things for like $50 to $100 sometimes. I'm always looking for so many SpongeBob items that I don't really usually focus in on one that often. So whenever I see this one, he's always pricey. I'm sure you can get him for less, but whenever I see him, he's pricey. Because who doesn't want to have a literal SpongeBob? This is a SpongeBob sponge from the brand Celio and also 3M. And it has a suction cup on the back so you can actually put your sponge in the SquarePants there. I would never consider using these now, but you could just put the SquarePants on your wall and put any yellow sponge in there for your dishes or for your bath, but either way, it's an amazing piece. And I have a few SpongeBob Plus sponges, but not this one. So finally got to check this guy off in this collection haul. This box is filled with a bunch of stuff, it seems like. Oh my goodness. I probably should have gotten these out one at a time. Oh gosh, and some of this stuff has been in great shape and others not so much. We have a SpongeBob toothbrush, and oh my goodness, it's like all of the backwash of toothpaste and freaking plaque in their teeth was just left on the toothbrush. Oh, I actually had that toothbrush as a kid. It did look like that. Well, maybe it did. I don't really remember. Maybe by the end of it, it did look like that. Putting that to the side. We have a grow-a sponge here. The grower, not a shower, SpongeBob. You drop him in water and he gets 6 times as big, which he's pretty small. So 6 times as big is like what? Like here? That's pretty big, I guess. Green label card though, that is new to the collection. A new SpongeBob tin, a very small one. It's like a little SpongeBob like mint holder. That's a new tin though, nonetheless, to add to the tin collection. We have some green label, a little bit of a dented up box there, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is some of the earliest, if not the first, SpongeBob Valentine's Day cards there. I think my favorite one is this one. I'm crazy for you. I defy you, Heart Man. And then I also like, you're a real catch. There is a really dusty, rusty SpongeBob toothbrush. This tiny little cute SpongeBob that probably came out of one of the nickel machines. Some Pez dispensers without the Pez dispenser. We got, okay, green label temporary tattoos. Those are new. A really beat up Colgate toothbrush. A brand new sealed SpongeBob the movie watch. Here's a picture of what the watch looks like out of the box there. Sealed. I do have a complete sealed set of these in the collection already, as well as he needs to clean up a little bit, but these are pretty rare to get in good shape. The bendable SpongeBob here, they sold these individually and also in a 3-pack, but they're such good 1-to-1 ratios of the characters, they're pretty rare to find. I have the complete set in my collection already, as well as this Pez dispenser, a few different items you're gonna see in this video I already have, and if I already have this guy as well too, you'll be able to pick them up for a great price over on my Whatnot streams. I do Whatnot every single Friday. We do auctions, so all 3 parts of this, every double I got in these collections, everything that's new to the collection I will be keeping, preserving, and adding to our archive here. Everything that's a double though will be going on my Whatnot streams, where we'll either give them away for free or auction them off to people in the community so they can add it to their collection. And every single cent that we make on Whatnot comes right back here to make these hauls and all the other videos and the stuff that we do on Whatnot possible. And when you sign up, you get 15 bucks for free to spend on your first purchase, so that link will be down below. But keeping it going here, we have, I see some other ones in here too. We have one being a complete flattened out box of the SpongeBob mac and cheese, but this is the good one. The original one is the classic one. We'll put it on screen here, but this is the sick one because you could actually put ocean blue cheese sauce in it to make it kind of have that bikini bottom vibe of blue mac and cheese. You know, this is in the era when we had freaking Shrek ketchup. You had freaking those, what were those Jimmy Neutron French fries that were different colors and had different flavors on. Like, there was a lot of weird stuff going on, so this worked then, okay? Now you would not be able to eat this, but back then it worked. A mini SpongeBob topper gum candy. These, oh my goodness, these little like rock gums were the best. And it has the topper still sealed on it. There's a bigger variation of this that actually has, I think, chocolate in it. But this is the mini sized one. And I think that cover, oh my goodness. This is one of those SpongeBob water wiggles. If you don't know what a water wiggle is, probably don't Google it because I don't know what will come up. But it's one of those things you put your finger in and it, like the water whooshes around your finger and it like collapses around your finger in this weird, uncomfortable way. It was one of those, but like all of the water has become dehydrated to where it's this flaccid like shell of a bob. Okay, I'm gonna keep this in the collection though because maybe they're all in this condition. Maybe it's impossible to have one that is not like this, but nonetheless, that's wild. A new SpongeBob tins are coming up now. A new SpongeBob tin, this little like mini can with a little slider there to get in the inside. That's actually sweet. Any new SpongeBob tin I'm here for. And oh man, these episodes always start off a little gross. SpongeBob chocolate, milk chocolate. They're literally these little tablets that have the characters on them with milk chocolate. But again, as I'll always say, this may be weird to you. You may consider this trash. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. This is the stuff that I live for. This disgusting science project in a saran wrap to add to the collection because nobody kept this milk chocolate, but I am going to keep it, and we will just see how this chocolate develops over the next decade or further. Alright, I think that's it of the gross box. A lot of that stuff was really gross. There's some cool items in there, but a lot of it was pretty rough. Alright, let's get on to some of these banger pieces in here. One piece that's amazing, it's still brand new sealed on the original green label box, is the SpongeBob Mac and Yak. I think okay, you have to pull this little card out here to get it working. We have one of these, which is loose because this one's actually they're both really rare. But you smack them and they talk. So they had one variation that you could get that had a tag on it, but then the first version that they released actually came in this little box just like this. So this is the first iteration of it right here. Probably the more sought after one with the Patrick on the side there, SpongeBob, the little plankton, green label of course. That's a nice piece to add to the collection right there. Again, we'll be adding all the values on screen for you guys as we do it. Another piece you never see, especially the Patrick one, the bubble tumbler. So before, you know, kids kids had Stanley tumblers. They had bubble tumblers. This was a tumbler for your bubbles. You put your bubbles in this and you would not spill them. They would not leak. And it had a little protective ring around it. So that way when you were doing the bubbles, it wouldn't actually like leak out of it. You could pull out the bubble one without it dripping all over your hands or all over the floor. And this is the Patrick variation. The SpongeBob one is pretty rare to see. They usually go between like 20 to 25 bucks, but I've never even seen the Patrick one. So the Patrick one is a new piece of the collection. I gotta get the SpongeBob one now for sure. That's a grail piece right there to me. Yo, we have an original SpongeBob ball. It's kind of dirty. I might be able to clean it up a little bit, but that's a Green Label classic SpongeBob just bouncy ball here. I actually made that. We'll never be able to confirm that, but I made that in the hoop in here. Ryan, can you add like a swish sound effect in the background? That way they think I made it. Okay, then we have 2 sealed boxes, which I already have this in the collection as well too. So you might see these over on Whatnot. Literally these go for like $40 to $60, sometimes even more than that in sealed condition. You'll probably be able to get them for much less than that on our Whatnot streams. These are 2 sealed boxes of the SpongeBob Ocean Blue colored cheese mac and cheese. That is clean. What's interesting though is that there was different postcards you can get on the back of them. And the original ones, they've had like postcards on the back of them to where you could like, you know, collect all 3. These ones have your own scene you can create of Bikini Bottom. So you can set up Con Street there and cut out all the different figures of them and kind of make a little play set out of the cardboard pieces of the back of your mac and cheese. That is awesome. 2 sealed boxes. That already for sure added to our value counter. Oh, now this is a grail piece. Oh my god, I have one that's a little bit cleaner than this, so I'm wondering if I could like combine them together. This right here is the original Talking Bob, what I consider probably the best SpongeBob plushie of all of them. You have the faux leather shoes. Look at the sneaks, look at the shoe game. You have the removable, the tags are still in this one, but removable SquarePants. Removable. Mine doesn't have these glasses. It's missing these jellyfishing glasses. And hard plastic, bulging 3D eyes, and stitched in teeth, tongue, and bottom lip. This is like the grail of SpongeBob. Like if you were to ask me what is the most accurate SpongeBob plushie that you can buy, it has the curvature of his body, you know, comparatively to the life-size one I just showed you. This is by far the most accurate because it's also sponge texture too. Like I said, I've never seen the glasses with them. The glasses are always gone and they have like actual plastic pieces holding it on there. That is beautiful. Oh, and let me not mention another feature. The cheeks was stitched in freaking freckles, man. That is beautiful. Okay, the next item we've got, this dude is like literally the me of the past. He kept an original SpongeBob like aluminum balloon. It's still there. Like that is what I'm talking about when it comes to preservation. Somebody out there grew up and had this full body balloon and it's like, what the hell right now looking at this. And they even kept the little thing on it. The smiley face or like a teddy bear or whatever item they would put on the bottom to hold down the weight of the balloon. But this is a big boy. You had to have 2 of them smiles. So you know this person probably had it sitting in their house all the way up until the point to where it deflated enough to where they could release the air from it and preserve the balloon. Now that is a collector. That's beautiful. Value on this is like probably 0, but like to me as a preservationist, this is like priceless. A SpongeBob sippy cup here. This one I don't think we have in the collection. I have a few of these, but I don't think I have this one. This might be the last one I needed for the 3-pack that it comes in. Oh my goodness. No, dude. Are you joking me? There is Nick Candy Valentine's Day Krabby Patty. That's another level to this. So there is the original. This is the original. It's like the first ever packaging of it. Like if you could go back in time and get the first bottle of Coca-Cola, that for historic sake, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty like amazing and just so interesting to see, right? This is the first ever Krabby Patty they ever released here, the Nick Candy. But during that time, the same launching year of the Nick Candy line, which produced a bunch of Nick Candy products, we got the Krabby Patty, which was the one that stayed around and is still around today. But that same launching year, we also got the holiday season packs, which included an Easter one that I got from the lovely Don and T-Dog in the community here. and the Valentine's Day one. We did not have this one. So now we have almost all of that original wave of Nick Candy, because Nick Candy I think was from 2002 to 2005 they ended it. So you could get a couple of variations, but they kept the packaging the same. So there was a couple years you had an opportunity to get it. So the last one that we would need to complete this is the Christmas ones, which I've never seen before. So they may or may not exist. And if they have a Halloween one, that would be the last ones we would need to get all of the original launch holiday Krabby Patties in the collection. You may see a bunch of old rotten candy, but to me, this is like holding the 3 legendary gods of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is... We finally have the Valentine's Day one. Oh my goodness. So holy cow. So that original Nick Krabby Patty, they can go for $10 to $15 each. The Valentine's Day ones, I could see them being in the $10 price range. I don't think that they would be maybe as pricey or as sought after as that regular one, because that's like the original one. And a lot of people would want to have just that first one just to say they have it. But these ones, they're a little bit more niche, but they are actually, I would say, no, 100% rarer than those ones. Being that they're limited time during an already limited time thing. So yeah, go on our Whatnot stream. I'll probably be giving away some of these Nick Gummy Krabby Patties. I don't need this many, and hopefully you guys can add some to your collection if you're a strange person like me who likes keeping rotten food from our childhood in their house. But it also came with a bunch of Valentine's Day cards too that you were supposed to hand these out with. But this guy had other thoughts in mind. He's like, hey, one day some guy on the internet, some weird guy on the internet is gonna open these up and he's gonna freaking freak out about it. And he's right, I'm freaking out. Thank you for saving that for me. Oh my gosh, that's wild. What is this? I didn't even see this in there. A SpongeBob Dream Journal? It came with, we have another SpongeBob Green Label journal like this, but this is a Sponge is Born SpongeBob Dream Journal with a SpongeBob pillow, this random SpongeBob mug, which I'm pretty sure came from a quarter machine, and then this SpongeBob book that's a Sponge is Born. Did they write any dreams in it? No, they had no dreams. Let's check out the next item. The pillow doesn't really have a lot of sponginess involved with it though. I prefer the other SpongeBob journal and pillow that we have in the collection. No! I just said that it was so hard to find. Is it the same one? No, it's not the same one. It's a different one, but it's similar. It's the SpongeBob Bubble Dancer. SpongeBob Dancing Bubble Blower. So this one, you blow, I think, the SpongeBob and he spins around on the top of it. I have this figure in the collection. I had no clue where it came from, but now I know. So you push a button on him and it makes him dance, and as he's dancing, he pulls his wand, or in this case, his jellyfishing net, to make bubbles. So it's not the same tumbler that is this one, because like I said, the SpongeBob one is pretty rare, but the Patrick one is rare, so I'm glad we got that one. But it would have been cool to have the SpongeBob one to go with it immediately, but hey, we didn't have this one in the collection, so this one's another one to add in the collection immediately. Oh yes, thank God he did this. I told him when he was boxing this if he could put one of these items in plastic wrap, because I was so afraid that like it might burst, you know, while he was shipping it. And let's see if it did burst. Thankfully, no burstage. But I was worried it was a possibility, so I told him if he could put it in a plastic wrap. This, oh, I want to drink this bottle. Look at that blue bubble bath liquid. That is my favorite color in the world. It works with Scooby-Doo. It works with SpongeBob. My favorite color, I think, used to be orange and green, and those in conjunction. But I think the more I think about it and like seeing this, I think my favorite color in the world might be this Lagoon Blue. That is just, oh man, it makes you think of your favorite flavors like berry or like blue raspberry. And then you've got these SpongeBob in the bath there on top. I think I actually posted a photo of this on our Instagram page for the archive, and it blew up like pretty big for like, you know, for at that time how many followers we had, because so many people grew up with it. And I actually have a bottle of this in the collection already, so I'll be putting this over on Whatnot. You can get an actual pretty amazing grail piece here, being the original SpongeBob bubble bath here. Okay, next up here is another grail piece, and that is the original SpongeBob as Mermaid Man figure. This is from the green and white label era. Again, this is one of the hardest lines to collect because it came from this right here, the episodic series. Some of the highest quality figures and merch for SpongeBob were produced during the 2004-2006 era, and this is one of them. This guy on average can go from anywhere between $80 to $120 retail, like on the open market. So this is already another piece, instantly gets some gain, some value back into the collection. I'm gonna clean the box up a little bit here because it's a little bit dusty. But cleaning this box up, he's gonna be ready to go. I already have one of these in my collection. I think I have him in German too. No, that's Patrick I have in German. Collecting as much as I do, you gotta remember what you have in German and what you don't have in German. But I already have one in my collection. I'm a one and done kind of collector, so I will be putting this over on Whatnot as well. So somebody can add this to their collection. That's a grail piece though. It took me years to be able to add this guy to my collection. Episode 31, Mermaid Man SpongeBob. There we go. And that was a nice help towards our $600 price tag and making this worth it. But honestly, I don't even know where the price is at right now, but I don't really care. This has been so much fun. It's like the 2004 Christmas that I always wanted. I mean, my parents tried their best. I got a lot of SpongeBob stuff back then too. You know, but we were middle class, lower middle class. So being able to get this much would have been an impossibility. But now in the future with adult currency, I'm able to make that dream like unbelievable. You know, like in Harry Potter in the first movie when like he goes out there and like the freaking son has like all those presents and Harry has like nothing basically. I was that kid. I was the freaking bastard cousin. I was him. I got to live his life in this event. It was well worth the $600. So I have what is in here considered the SpongeBob. I can't call it a library yet. I'm calling it a library, but the goal that we set as to what we would call a library was 1,000 books. I have several hundreds of SpongeBob books. So it's very rare that I find something that I don't have. This is the SpongeBob SquarePants Oracle. I've never seen this book before, but the cover is so dope. That's a sick cover. I love like any of the like, when it comes to SpongeBob stuff, I love the nostalgic stuff, but when it comes to like just the aesthetic of it, I love like the oddities, the kind of weird, like kind of twisted, strange stuff. So like this awesome, like freaking psychic, like almost Zoltar-esque SpongeBob in the middle there. But then when you open it up, it has different quotes, it looks like, from characters. So it has quotes from the characters with them in there as a picture. I thought I sent you away, cretin. If I had $1 for every brain you don't have, I'd have $1. And you already knew somewhere in this series, we probably saw him a few times, I didn't even notice it, but you knew we were gonna see him at some point. Squidward doing the thing, most iconic freaking quote. And I told you that his official line with this quote is, please tell me this isn't a joke. That's an amazing book that I don't have, so that's a new addition to the library there. Library, how do you say it? I don't know, I'm going with library. I like all my berries untruthful. We have the Hawaiian green label SpongeBob here. This is also a smack one too. So this one's similar to this one where it's not in the box. I think this one also has a box variation too. So this one does not work, it seems like. So likely just from the years have gone by, he has died. And the unfortunate thing about these is that there's no way to get to the battery access port. So once it dies, that's kind of it. Unless you were able to like unstitch it, I guess, which is like way too much work, if there even is a way to put new batteries in it. So he's done, but the fact that he has a tag on him and he's brand new, still really cool and definitely necessary for our green label collection. And that's the big thing, is we're adding so many green label items here. And as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to add these items in. So I'm really glad that we're able to add them now. Oh no, wait a minute, maybe the batteries are just dead. So this is a SpongeBob spin top. Okay, so this is him surfing and it looks like his pants go down. I have one in the collection that has its original batteries in it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, did it just die right now? It still works. It's him jellyfishing with the original batteries from 2003. This one I do not have in the collection. I'm gonna see, because a lot of times I did a whole video on this. These are listed as broken, but many people don't know there's a little compartment here on the bottom where you can get the battery out. So maybe the battery is just dead. Let's put a new battery in and see if we can get him work. But also, so the surfboard on him is broken. So, I mean, that's a good placeholder copy, but I definitely want to get another one down the line. But since we're already got it open, let's check out the battery. So yes, like I said, if he didn't have the board broken, you can still kind of see, so he's pulling his pants down. Kind of supposed to be like, I guess, ripping his pants in that iconic episode. It does work, it's just that, again, that surfboard being broken is kind of a bummer. But still pretty cool to have nonetheless. Another grail piece. These can cost anywhere between $50 to $100. This is the SpongeBob Nutcracker. Holiday Nutcracker, not just any nutcracker. He's only cracking them holiday nuts. Let's pop him open. This is way bigger than I expected. I've never had this in the collection, so it's really cool to finally have one. So it looks like he got separated here because of like it's made out of like a firm cardboard, but I could easily glue this back, not a big deal. But what I think probably happened is like the mechanics to use it as a nutcracker is right here, and I'm sure you're probably not supposed to actually use it to crack nuts, but this person probably did, and then because of that, that's what created the damage here. So yeah, thankfully it seamlessly goes back on there. Like, I can glue that, and you would never be able to tell that it even came off. But it is a working nutcracker. A lot of times they're fake nutcrackers that don't actually crack nuts, but this one has the device here to where you could use it. A beautiful piece. That is really gorgeous, and I can see why it costs so much now. Okay, so next up, it's green label too. Like that's anything, the smallest items that we can add to the green label collection. This little freaking drawstring bag, and it's got the green label tag on it. Fire. Another item I didn't have, and it's like a staple. Like, how did I not have this already? The SpongeBob Silly Stampers. It comes with figures of all four of these characters, Sandy and the Conch Crew. Silly Stampers. I have the Rocket Power ones in the collection, but we did not have these SpongeBob ones, so it's good to finally add these. Like, we're getting so many green label grails that we've needed for the collection. Like, this literally upgraded our green label shelf so much, you guys don't even know. Like, well, you probably do, you're watching it. This is a new SpongeBob, but unfortunately he's broken a leg here. This is a green label SpongeBob Candy Buddy. Again, as I always say, I have them hanging over here, wherever my finger wants to point, here, and I have more on that side, and I've been trying to collect every single one, but I always see duplicate. This one's very similar to a few, but it's a new. But unfortunately, he's got a broken leg, dang. But at least that gives me a direction for another one to look for. And then we have the Easter Bunny one, which I've gotten this one like 6 times over, so yeah, that one's not new. Oh yes, and then the SpongeBob freaking 35mm flash camera on the card. I have this in the collection, and it still has the 35mm film in it, and there's a picture of me and Parker on it from the day that I opened up this camera. I still haven't got that freaking film developed, but it's still on there if it hasn't been corrupted at this point or corroded. But I opened that one up so we could actually use the camera because I was just so curious if it still worked. But now we have one brand new sealed in the packaging, completely wrapped and sealed inside too. Next up is a SpongeBob stick-on playset. So there's a bunch of little stickers you can put on the playset there. We're gonna rapid fire some of these smaller items here. We have the SpongeBob the Oracle here from the book, I guess. It's from the Lost in Time series. We have a SpongeBob Nightlight there, a little bit of oxidized from time, unfortunately, but SpongeBob Nightlight. We have the SpongeBob watch with the replaceable face plates there, green label as well, with the pirate form and also the cop form. These are pretty dingy, so I don't know. We might keep these in the collection, but I don't really like keeping stuff that's too corroded because that can tend to like develop onto other stuff through like contact somehow. So I don't know about this one, but the SpongeBob Patrick fork set there, that little opening they left there unfortunately let the conditions of the world get to them. A still sealed, another one, dude. Like I ate the other day. What did I have? I think I had chicken. I had chicken and rice on this plate in my freaking house. Like I have these plates and these bowls in the house already, but this is a completely sealed set here. So freaking dope. And this is the freaking boss setup here. I have this plate and bowl in my house right now too. This is the pineapple setup here, still sealed in the packaging. The packaging on both of these is a little bit rough, but they're so fragile. Like if you really feel them in hand, they're so fragile that I'm surprised that they're still in the containers at all, to be honest with you. We're running out of space here on the table. There's so many green label items in this that I didn't even know existed. There's a green label twisting straw. You know those old school straws you sip on, you pretend your drink is like a roller coaster and you drink it? It's one of those. A SpongeBob shoelace, a singular shoelace. Oh, and there it is, the other Liquid Tunes SpongeBob. So we got the Liquid Tunes Patrick in the last video. You'll see a side-by-side shot of them. This is the version 1 of them, because we have another one in the collection that's a later version of the Liquid Tunes. This is the original version of it with the Nick Activities branding on it. So this is probably the one that's the best to preserve. I don't know, I might keep my other one, but I also might put that one on Whatnot since this is the earliest version of it. And technically for adding numbers to the collection, you can't add items that are just variations of each other. So it would still be considered one item just because I have the one here. So that one would still be considered just nothing basically. So for adding numbers to the collection, I only need the one. That is awesome though, the original one. Okay, and then finishing it up here, we've got a SpongeBob folder here with a Kick Me sign in the back. a green label SpongeBob coloring golden book. This last stuff is really dirty. A really dirty like SpongeBob like little travel bag here, but there's no tag on this one. So the thing about this is you can be easily washed. A SpongeBob notebook that has website link notes for the color purple Spark Notes because they didn't want to read nobody wanted to read that old book, I guess. They have a bunch of phone numbers in here. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then they have a list of where they were starting to add their whole collection. So they were writing down what items in their collection they had on this little notebook. As with most kids, myself included, I probably would have just like forgotten about this at some point because they didn't continue on after like a certain amount of items. But that's still pretty cool. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep that with this collection. So now this I wish was in better shape than it is. This is one of the items I wanted the most. It looks like it got damaged quite a bit in shipping. That is the Squirting Bob. I mean, at least we have one, but man, look at how dirty that is. That's filthy. So, I mean, I'm gonna try to wash him up. I almost just want to take him out of the packaging because he's so beat up and like just give him a good bath because like he's so rough. But this is the Squirting Bob here, one of the earliest SpongeBob products, being from the year 2000. If you find anything SpongeBob year 2000, that was probably the first wave of anything that came out. You have this guy, you had the squeezable talking figures, and then these bendable figures. Those were like the first like couple products that ever came out, and this is one of them. So I have all the other ones on that list, but I don't have this one. So I was really hoping this was gonna be in better shape. At least, like I said, it's a placeholder copy for right now. I couldn't really tell in the photos how good of the condition it was, but you guys can see how smashed in the box is there. It's really rough. And the Babbling Bob that was marketed on here, which I think the Babbling Bob didn't come out till like 2002, so I could be wrong, but I guess the Babbling Bob would be on that list as well. And speaking of the devil, the Babbling Bob also, it's like maybe this stuff was in the attic and it got really wrecked. The Babbling Bob, he is really dirty. Like I don't even know how I can clean this one without taking him off. But this is 2002, so yeah, Babbling Bob would have been on that list of the first products. But yeah, he is really dirty. You can see there's some like liquid of some kind on top of his head there. That one's unfixably dirty. And then the next one here, this is the eye-popping SpongeBob. And he's dirty, but not unfixable. Like, I might be able to get him back to a cleanable shape. We do have a fresh one of these in the collection already, but I'll try to see the best I can clean this guy up I can. I'm pretty good at getting most stuff cleaned and back into shape after just doing it for so long, so he seems like I could get him back into a good place at least. It is hard to clean some of this like soft plastic sometimes because it holds on to stains so much, but there are tricks to try to get it out. So I'm gonna see what I can do on him, but he's not in the best shape. And then last up here, we have some food items, actually a few of them. We have, I have a way better condition one of this. So this got this Easter egg, the chocolate's bursted out of it. I have one that's like perfectly in shape with no leakage at all, so I'll probably throw this one out. There's a gummy candy canes. There's gummy candy canes with the gummy still on it. This one's not terribly in bad shape. I don't have that one, so I'll try to save that one. And then more of the disgusting science project chocolate. The Nick Candy's hearts though. The Nick Candy on that's fire. The fact that it has a Nick Candy logo on that's really clean. So that one I have to definitely do my best to preserve. And then this is actually really wild. I never had this growing up, so you guys let me know if you guys have this. This is a Lunchables sugar cookies SpongeBob like set. So you can make your own SpongeBob sugar cookies here, and that's green label too with the Lunchables logo on there. It's a twin pack, a really strange product. I never had those growing up though. It's by Oscar Mayer, and I would guess this probably came inside of a box maybe originally, because there's no date on there or expiration date, which makes me think like it was probably in a box of some kind originally. But nonetheless, undoubtedly a rare like freaking museum level piece that like maybe be like a handful of these ever that are still around. And that's it. So that's it for this one, guys. I mean, the last things were a little bit rough there, but that's why I kind of went through those last. Is okay, my hands are gonna get dirty. Let's get all those items at the end. That was amazing, though. I don't know. I think my favorite box might have still been box 2 and box 1 because I got the freaking slime dunk in there. You gotta watch all 3 parts of this series because there are so many treasures that we uncovered in these boxes. You guys let me know what was your favorite box if you've seen all 3 parts, and also leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part in this video? What was your favorite item that we pulled out of the casket that was that box. I gotta clean all this stuff, get shots of all this stuff for the videos for you guys. It is gonna be a long night getting this whole three-part series completed for you all. So if you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Would greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. And also check out the Patreon where you can sign up for only $2 a month. You get invited to our Discord to hang out and talk with other members of the Rep Pack. Extended versions of these videos, of all the videos we upload here, as well as early release, ad-free, and behind the scenes footage. And you can't get anywhere else, and all at $2 a month again. And it helps out this show immensely on keeping the production going and making videos like this possible. And as well, go ahead and check out our Whatnot stream. Link will be down below. I auction off any items that I get that are duplicates, and of course, anything that I bring over there, it's always clean and fresh. So if it's really dirty in this and I can't get it to like a really nice state, it probably won't end up over there. But some of the other more rare items that are in great shape still, like the mac and cheese, SpongeBob's Mermaid Man, a few other items you will be able to find over there on our Whatnot streams. And I always start our prices off at far below what eBay sells them for. So if you're looking to add any stuff to your collection as far as nostalgia goes, I definitely recommend you come over to our Whatnot streams and you get 15 bucks for free and you sign up. That link's down below. But on that note, you guys know the drill. Scan it. Okay, so now for adding stuff, all of this stuff is blister cards, and I don't mind trying to fit all of it in here. As always, when it comes to the collection, I can only put so much stuff on display. All of it will be archived and put into the vault to continue to collect and preserve. But as far as the room here, the cavern, this is more of a showcase room. So we have a lot of space though for blisters. I eventually wanted this whole wall to become just blister stuff, but we really didn't have enough Green Label stuff to, you know, fill in the different corkboarding that we have up there. But now we have a bunch, so we'll be adding it up there. Go ahead and start putting all of this up there, and I'll update you guys as soon as I have it all up. I have all the blisters up here, and it is really satisfying to see it's really starting to fill up here. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of room because I only put one of each product, and I kind of have them in a certain spacing of which, you know, of what size they are. But you can see it definitely got a little bit more volume here. I love it. Got the camera up here. All the stuff that you saw in the video that was on blisters has made its way up here, and we still have another row here for more of these cork boards and all the way down. I've thought about putting a shelf here before, and I still do think about that, but I think that the cork boarding idea, because Green Label had so many items that were like this, is probably the best way to fit the most amount of items for representation. And they're still not deep enough at the same time where if I need to grab those ping pong balls or any of the pencils in this pencil row, then I can. So I think I do really like the cork boarding setup here. And who knows, maybe one day if I have enough space, I would just have like a whole room of these so we could just put all the different items on there in the most organized fashion. Right here, I did have all of the Sponge on the Run figures, the plushes. It does make sense, but I put the Talking Bob here. He still has his tag on him, and I put the Nothing But Net hat, also Green Label, with the tag on it, on top of his head, because he is in a jellyfishing costume here, really, being just the glasses. And as far as the cavern goes, I will always be prioritizing vintage over modern. Of course, I love collecting the modern SpongeBob stuff. We do videos going to pick up that stuff all the time. But as far as a showcase room goes and the stuff that I want in the background and surrounding the area, it's going to be the vintage as a priority because, I mean, that's stuff that I grew up with. So, of course, it's the stuff that I'm going to resonate with even more. Okay, so I added some of the plushes right here, the Yak and Smacks. I added the Nutcracker right here. That is a pretty grail item, so I did want to add it in conjunction here, as well as the Squirting SpongeBob, because this and these were some of the first ever SpongeBob products to ever get released. So it's really cool to finally have that Squirting SpongeBob here in the collection. And you guys can see I made some room here to kind of get everything on there. And that was really due in part to those cork boards there. So there we go. That's a little updated look at the Green Label shelf. I may not be able to fit everything, but I'm gonna fit as damn much as I can. We'll also be adding these 3 items here onto the Green Label shelf in a future video. And they're rarer than anything else on this entire shelf. Okay, so now the playable version of the Life is an open copy. Will be going in our archive, and the sealed one will be going in here for display purposes and referential purposes. So far, just about every single game over here is sealed. There's a couple of them I still need to get sealed, like the Connect 4 and the Cranium, and also the Eels and Escalators. I need to get a sealed one of that too, but all the other ones we have a sealed copy of, so I try to just keep these ones here. And for our tins here, we have acquired just about all these little mini like candy tins. We have the tangy candy right there, the crispy coins, and also the fruity candy, all sealed from different situations: Easter, Valentine's Day, and I think this one's meant to be like a Christmas type one or something like that, but I don't even really know how many other variations of these candy tins there were. These are the ones I always see, so it's cool to finally have all three of them, and it adds to our growing tin collection here. I'm gonna start adding these in here too. These are really small little tins, but I guess why not, you know, for right now. We have another one right there too, these little tiny mini tins. I don't really consider those a part of like the lunchbox ones that I'm trying to keep. Like these are kind of mini lunch boxes, but these ones, it's just tin. And as for all the food products, like the slime dunks, the Toon Pops, all the food stuff that you saw in the series, those are going to be organized inside of the expanded food collection that is indoors inside my home in order to preserve those things, because they do have liquids in them in a lot of cases. I just don't want to risk those leaking on top of other stuff or any climate changes to affect them. There's so much stuff among these three boxes. You'll probably see some of the other stuff scattered throughout the cavern or inside, and some of course went into the vault. But I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-part series. That was incredible. I already have another SpongeBob collection we are going to be unboxing very soon here too, so make sure you subscribe for that. Stay tuned. If you guys haven't already, go check out the Patreon. The link is down below. It's $2 a month, and it helps immensely with making these videos possible. Not just these, but everything we do. We have a 100K video that's going to involve some traveling and a bunch of other stuff. This show is not cheap to run, but I love doing it, and everybody on Patreon really supports making us able to keep doing it and hopefully being able to do bigger and better stuff in the future. So that link will be down below, as well as a link to the Whatnot stream that I do every single Friday. You get 15 bucks for free when you sign up, as well as I do giveaways every single Friday. But on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smack the like button. See you in this video over here. And as always, Red Pack, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios and bloop!